You're in your 40s, and you might think you still have time to figure things out, to change course, to chase dreams you put on hold. And you do. But let me tell you something from the perspective of someone whose 57 time is moving faster than you realize. One day, you wake up, and those one days you kept pushing into the future, they never came. Unless you take action now. I understand your thoughts. Life seems to go by quickly. There are a lot of responsibilities. Perhaps you have a family that depends on you, a work that exhausts you, or goals that seem unattainable. You persuade yourself that you'll deal with them later as a result. Here's the thing, though, until you claim it now, later never comes. It is not luck that separates those who create the life they desire from those who do not. It's the choice to take action in the face of discomfort, uncertainty, and inconvenience. When you reach your 40s, you are at a pivotal juncture in your life, a crossroads when your past experiences, wisdom, and even unresolved regrets come together. Influence how you see the future. During this phase, a lot of people begin to consider the decisions they have made, the accomplishments they have made, and the potential unmet dreams. It is a time for introspection, when you may question whether your current life is in line with your previous goals. While some people feel a great sense of accomplishment, others have a persistent sense of stagnation, as though they have been walking the same path without making any progress. Now you have a decision to make. You have the option to stay on the same path, reverting to the same routines and recurring patterns, or you can choose to break away and create a life that truly fulfills you on a conscious level. A lot of individuals make the mistake of thinking that by the time they are in their 40s, their destiny has already been decided, they are too old to start over, and their chances of success and happiness have already passed. In addition to being restrictive, this belief is wholly untrue. Society frequently sets an unseen deadline, leading people to believe that they have failed in some way if they haven't achieved a particular degree of financial security, professional success, or personal fulfillment by a given age. When people believe it's too late to make meaningful changes, they become resigned and settle for less than they deserve. However, the reality is that change can occur at any point in life. Reimagining is only constrained by thinking and not by age. Numerous accounts exist of individuals who have disregarded the alleged age barrier. Entrepreneurial success is not limited to the young, as evidenced by the fact that some people start enterprises well into their 50s. Some people in their 60s take on physical challenges, such as marathon running or fitness objectives they never thought they could achieve. Some people even rediscover love in their 70s, embracing new connections and demonstrating that emotional fulfillment is not a lifelong quality. These instances are potent reminders that the idea that change is impossible is the only thing standing in the way of change. The most crucial realization is that you are in charge of your own story. You will live your life accordingly, accepting mediocrity, letting go of your former aspirations, and settling for routines that no longer serve you if you decide that your best years are behind you. However, new opportunities will present themselves if you change your perspective and accept the notion that you can begin anew at any time. Realizing that reinvention is a decision rather than a luxury only a select few can afford is crucial. So, as you find yourself at this turning point in your 40s, ask yourself, will you let your fear of change to stop you, or will you take the initiative and design a life that inspires you? You make the choice. Let's discuss the consequences of making no changes. You'll wake up in your 50s suffering the consequences of all the choices you didn't make if you keep telling yourself you'll sort it out later. You'll feel constrained by concerns you've never encountered and trapped in habits that no longer work for you. And regret. That is the most burdensome thing of all. That is not what I want for you. The repercussions of doing nothing time will pass whether you take action or not if you don't make any changes today. Many people promise themselves that they will resolve issues later, whether they relate to their relationships, careers, health, or personal development. The ugly reality is that later tends to catch you off guard. Imagine being in your 50s and waking up with the impression that life has simply occurred to you rather than being something you have shaped. It's possible that you're still feeling dissatisfied in your relationships, working at the same job that drains you, or maintaining the same bad habits that you promised yourself you'd break. The weight of inaction accumulates over time. You could feel stuck in unproductive habits, performing tasks only because they are comfortable rather than because they provide you happiness, pleasure, or meaning. The worst thing, you'll be held back by concerns you've never faced rather than by outside factors. Fear of not succeeding, fear of being judged, the apprehension of venturing beyond your comfort zone. The greatest weight of all is regret. It's not only about what you did, it's also about what you didn't do, the chances you missed, the discussions you skipped, and the dreams you lost because you were too busy waiting for the right time. Furthermore, there is never an ideal moment, let's face it. It gets more difficult to get out the longer you wait. The influence of mentality change. The good news? You have more to tell. Change is possible no matter where you are at the moment, but it begins with your perspective. To alter, you must no longer wait for approval. Too frequently, people are reluctant to make daring actions because they believe they require external validation for their decisions. Perhaps society expected you to have everything all out by now. Perhaps you feel that you should settle because those around you have. However, this is your life. You can make changes without anyone's agreement if anything doesn't feel right. Another important change in perspective is to cease thinking that your greatest years are over. A common misconception is that youth is the only period for adventure, excitement, and reinvention. That is just untrue. This is a strong beginning, not the end, if you're in your 40s. If you take action, your 40s can be the decade in which you lay the groundwork for the most amazing time of your life. This is your opportunity to define success according to your own standards, to give priority to what really matters, and to make choices that will help you live the life you desire. However, it won't occur by chance. It necessitates deliberate activity. Acting right away, what then does it mean to take action? Self-reflection. Examine your life honestly. What is effective? What isn't? You've been settling where? Brave choices. Quit putting off the adjustments you know are necessary. Start taking risks in your relationships, profession, or personal development. Daily commitment. It takes time for things to change. Massive changes result from tiny, regular activities over time. You have an option. You may either stay the same and wake up regretting it, or you can make the decision now to go forward into the next stage of your life with clarity, purpose, and confidence. The future is something you create, not something you wait for. Decide what is preventing you from moving forward first. Is it failure-related fear? Fear of being judged? The conviction that you are inadequate? Be truthful with yourself. The stories you tell yourself about your abilities and limitations are often the source of your challenges rather than external factors. The truth is that those stories are false. They can be rewritten. Then take a step. Only one. Do your homework if you wish to switch careers. Take a walk today if you want to get in shape. Make the call if you wish to mend ties. Beginning is the most difficult aspect of change. However, momentum takes over after you do. All you need to do is overcome that initial barrier. Allow me to illustrate. One of my friends was in his mid-40s, locked in a job he detested, and leading a life that seemed meaningless. He believed that it was too late to make a fresh start. However, one day he made the decision to stop waiting. He attended one night lesson, followed by another. After 2 years, he switched to a completely other line of work that gave him meaning and happiness. He was not fortunate. He simply made the decision to do action. There will be challenges. People may not be on your side. You'll start to mistrust yourself. But keep in mind that successful people don't always overcome obstacles. They are the ones who don't let obstacles deter them. No one else's approval is necessary for you. You don't have to know everything. All you have to do is begin. A part of you knows you're intended for more if you're still listening. That voice inside of you that has been telling you that you are capable of more, pay attention to it. Have faith. It will be appreciated by your future self. Consequently, what will you do? Will you continue to live your life automatically, anticipating the ideal moment that will never arrive? Or will you take charge, make a choice, and transform your life? Because the fact is that you are in charge. This is something you can alter. This is where your success begins.